right, so welcome back, and this is your host, Yoni Unfiltered. If you have joined me for part one, then you already know we talk about habits, mindset, and generational part people avoid. So I need you to be honest tonight, not with me, but with yourself. Let me ask you something to start. Have you ever had money and still felt like you're broke? You can go ahead on mute and speak. Have you ever had money and still felt like you're broke?
For sure.
And explain that for me. You want to expound on that?
There are times when you have, for instance, you have a plan, you have a target, and in order to meet that target, you have to sometimes, as it were, have the money and can't even touch it because you need to meet that budget to accomplish that plan.
And that's true, because most of us would have encountered rather something like that in our life, because sometimes we feel as if, listen, we have what it takes and we can spend, and we just go ahead, spend like there's no tomorrow, right? So feeling that we are broke, even when you have money but yet you still feel like you're broke, to me, I think that it is a mindset, and it's how we think. I think that is the case. So we are gonna get into our discussion further. So let me start with something people never question. Who are you when it comes to money? Do you believe your financial situation is connected to how you see yourself? Question. Who are you when it comes to money? And do you believe your financial situation is connected to how you see yourself? Who are you when it comes to money? And do you believe your financial situation is connected to how you see yourself?
Well, for me, when it comes to money, I'm a spender. But is it connected to how I see myself? No. Why I say no? Because even though I'm a spender, I know when to stop. So I'm not going, even though when it comes to money, I'm a spender, but it's not connected to me. It's not who I am.
Okay. On that side, I'm wondering if for me personally, because let me tell you, I don't know if I'm the only one who has this issue. But when it comes on to spending, I'm not going to spend my last, to be honest. But I I'm not sure if I'm the only female who likes to buy stuff like bags, shoes. It doesn't matter. Once you see something that is, your taste, you're going to go for it. So I'm that type of person, right? But it doesn't define me, as you would say.
You're what we call an impulse spending. You just spend on impulse. You're not going to spend a lot, but you're going to spend based on your impulse.
Right.
You go out and you see something, oh, I'm going to buy this.
Right.
You plan for it, so you're just spending on impulse.
That is true. And also, I think there's a term that they use for it. It's emotional spending. Do you think that that could be considered as emotional spending? Or emotional spending? Mm-hmm.
Well, it comes when you look at that type of spending, because back in college and we were looking at finance, and it comes under what they say is a psychological or behavior factor. It falls under that. So it could be
Right.
considered some form of emotion, because sometimes people spend on impulse based on what they're going through. They're probably
That's
going
true.
through a
Yes.
situation, and as a result, because like myself, when I get stressed, I'll just go out and I'll just shop.
Right.
So it can be
Well, that's
considered as emotional.
right. Right.
Because when you think about it, it's not really a money decision. It's not just, and it's not logical either. It's more a decision based on your emotion. So it could be considered emotional.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, and I was saying that that's why sometimes I don't really go out much, because if I go out and I go into the store, I'm gonna want to buy something, and no matter how I say that, oh, I'm not gonna buy anything, I'm just gonna look around, I'm gonna end up buying stuff and and spending quite a good sum of money.
Yeah,
So
that is
as
the
you were
plan.
saying about the emotional side, yes, I believe in it also that we spend money at times because of our emotion.
It's
Yeah.
true. And sometimes we do that because we don't really have a budget, or we don't plan. Because if we have a budget and we decide that, okay, I'm just going to spend X amount for the month, then we wouldn't go out and do impulse spending.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's continue. So, do you see yourself as someone who handles money well, or someone who always struggle? What would you say about that question?
Well, not all the time, because once I have a budget, it's because some months I don't budget,
Okay.
and that's the time when I struggle.
Oh, okay.
Because-
All right. Fair
Because
enough.
without planning and without a budget, you're definitely
Right.
going to be struggling. Because
Right.
especially if you have bills before you get that paycheck, you're
Mhm.
going to be already broke, because the bills probably outweigh your salary.
Okay, that's true. That's so true. And sometimes even before the bills come in your head, you are already broke because you calculate, oh, I'm gonna do this, I have this to be done. Yes. So sometimes these are some of the challenges that we face. And be honest, when did you first start believing that about yourself, that you are a good spender or you're not able to manage money well? When did you understand that about yourself, if you are that type of person?
Well, I figured that out earlier in the game. Like when I used to get pocket money, or when I used to go to school. I remember going to high school and living with my siblings. I mean, my brother's wife would have given me my lunch money for the week. And before the week ends, I have no money.
Okay, my God.
So
All right.
then I realized that I'm a bad spender. So I had to do something to get it together. But
Right.
But it's back then, going to high school when you're given all that lunch money for the week.
Right.
And I wasn't able to manage it effectively at first.
Okay, that's true. That is so true. Let me share a little story with me. I remember when I was going to what we call in Jamaica primary school. And it was me and my twin sister. And let me tell you, when my mother gave us our lunch money, my big sister, well, not big because we are the same age, but when she gives my sister the lunch money, my sister would normally spend everything without leaving lunch money for my smaller sister. So she wasn't good at managing money from that, from the time we were going to school, and we figured that out. She wasn't good at managing money, but now she become a better person in managing money. So I think that not because you might start out at a level, that doesn't mean that you're gonna be in that level all the time. Sometimes situation allows you to be grown. You are able to see things now clearly, and you know that, listen, if I spend my money that I need to pay my bills, then what is going to happen? You're going to be out of electricity, you're going to be out of food, you're going to be out of whatever, God, He knows what else you need to get done. So it is important for you to learn money management And also, I think that it should be taught in school how to help people to navigate through this life, helping them to manage money, helping them to be able to understand the necessity, the need for spending and the limit.
Yeah, that's where financial education come in, if I can reiterate. I mean, growing up as children, especially in Jamaica, we weren't even taught about budgeting our credits. We didn't know anything about credits back then. And so without that foundation, it is easy for us to make all of those costly mistakes.
Right.
When you get older and you get more mature and you get more responsibility, because the little lunch money at school, yes, it's a responsibility. And I think what parents do in that way is trying to give us responsibility with giving us our lunch money for the week and see how well we balance it. But they fall down because they didn't taught us anything. And you can just give children money and say, oh, let it serve for you. There's a lot of things out there that is going to be attract your eyes, and you have all that money. You want that money, because in the back of your head you're going to say, oh, mommy or daddy or whoever you live with, sister, brother, is going to give me more lunch money again.
That is true.
Sometimes reality hits and you never get that money, and so you learn quickly that either I use some form of budgeting, balance the money, or I'm going to be ending up going to school with no lunch money for the rest of the week.
That's true. That is so true. And as you state about going to school and all of this, I have a similar situation. I believe that in Jamaica, if they were trying to incorporate these things in the education system, many of us would not make the mistakes that we make now as adults, and we would have made better decisions in money management. I think that would have been the case. All right. So is it possible that some people stay broke because being the struggling one has become a part of their identity? Do you agree?
Somewhat. They struggle because some persons, they are not willing to make sacrifice to change from the struggle. I mean, you realize you're struggling. What is it that I'm going to do?
Right.
To walk away from the struggle. And sometimes persons are willing to live paycheck to paycheck. If you continue living paycheck to paycheck, then you're going to be struggling. But if you make an ultimate decision that this is not me, this is not what I want to do. I'm going to stop living from paycheck and make sacrifice. The first sacrifice you're going to have to do is if you get it, you're going to tell yourself, regardless of how small this paycheck is, I'm going to start saving.
Right, that's true. That is
true. $1. So once you start putting this dollar down, and then another week, before long you're gonna have something else.
Right, that's true. So true.
And that's how you're going to be walking away from the struggle. But we are not willing. Oh, it's only $1 I get, so I can't save anything. You're never going to save anything, and you're always going to be living paycheck to paycheck.
Right. Why do people know what to do with money but still don't do it? Or do you think they know what to do with money but they don't want to do it? Or you think they don't know but they still just do what they have to do?
I think after a while you know what to do.
Right.
You start out struggling, but eventually you're going to come to self and you're going to ask yourself the question. Is this what I want am I going to be just living in a life where I'm just struggling? Or am I going to make the ultimate sacrifice? Because we know that we have a problem. It's either we know that the paycheck is way below our living standard. What am I going to do to bring up this paycheck to my living standard? Or is it that I know that I'm a spendthrift, or I spend an impulse? What is it that I'm going to do to stop doing this thing so I can move away from the struggle? Persons move away because they make up in their mind, this is not me, this is not what I want, this is not what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. Some persons settle for it. This is what I'm doing. I'm only earning $1. Too tired to go get a second job sometimes. Because sometimes the one job you're doing, it's not doing enough for what you want to do. And you just settle for it. I'm accepting this. This is me. I can't do any better. So this is the way I'm going to live. Or again, am I going to make some sacrifice? Look at what I have, ask myself the question, what can I do to move from this struggle? So
Right.
some people accept it, some persons don't.
That's true. That is so true. Is knowledge actually useless without discipline?
It all depends. Some knowledge is not useless because whether you're disciplined, yes or no. Knowledge is not useless, is what you do with knowledge when you
Right.
when you know. It's not useless in any way because knowledge is knowing. I know this, but what am I going to do with this knowledge that I have now? Am I going to use it or am I just going to let it stay there? So knowledge is never useless, is what you do with knowledge when you get the knowledge or when you get the new information. What am I going to do with this? What am I going to do about this now? Because I know this. What am I going to do? What's my next step? What's my next move?
Right. But my thing is, when it says, is knowledge actually useless without discipline? I am thinking that it says both of them. Say, for example, you have the knowledge, but you don't have the discipline. It makes no sense. But when you have the knowledge and apply the discipline, then that's where you get an effective money management. So that's what I think when it says, knowledge actually useless without discipline. Because I don't think you can have, even if you have the knowledge of managing money and you don't apply the discipline, you think it's going to work?
No, it's not going to work. And that's why I said you're going to ask yourself the question, what am I going to do now that I know that if I move this, it's going to be better for me?
Right. Have you ever ignored your own financial advice? Like your mind telling you this, or, you need to do that, or have you ever ignored that financial advice?
All the time, even though sometimes
Right.
that I have X amount of money and the bills come to this, but yet still you tell yourself, I'm not going to do this because if I do this, I'm going to go in the red. But by the time you go on the road, you're going to be doing something else.
Right,
So
that's true.
sometimes you do ignore your own financial advice.
Information doesn't change life. Implementation does.
Exactly. I mean, you have the information, but until you start using the information, putting it into work or put it into use, then it's as if you're holding on to air. Until
Right.
you start, you have that information, but what am I going to do with the information?
That's true. Because if struggle becomes your identity, then success can start to feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. Let me ask you something deeper. If I give you 10,000 today, do you trust yourself to keep it?
Well, no, because I have bills to pay, so I'm going to use it to pay the bill.
Very good one. And that will work for most of us. And we know it's true, because what about the bills that we have to pay?
But am I going to use all? The question is no. Would I use up all of it just on bills? No. But I'm going to pay majority of my bills. I'm going to put aside a sum of it. But am I going to pay up my bills? Yes, I will pay some bills. But I can't guarantee that if you give me $10,000, I'm going to keep it. No, ma'am.
That's true. Or would something happen and slowly it disappears? And if that's your answer, what does that say about your relationship with money?
We ain't got nothing good going on right now. Money and I don't have nothing good going on right now.
Okay. Right.
We're not having a good relationship now because I'm unable to get close to my finances right now.
Okay, but the thing is, Kathy, you're not the only one in that seat. There are a lot of persons out there. They have been living like, some people paycheck to paycheck. So let me tell you, and even for myself, sometimes when I get paid, I'm like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? Because you're planning, you're budgeting, but even when you look at the time now, it's like everything is so expensive, and even when you're trying to cut through the thin lines that you possibly can, it's not working out. So I think it's not just a me and you thing. I think it's something that's happening all over the world.
Yeah, but then I go back again. But how are we going to stop living paycheck to paycheck? You have to build a cushion. What do I mean when I say build a cushion? You go have to start saving small. You go have to open an account that says this is just for emergency only, and we're not touching it. We're not going in there to buy the shoes on impulse. We're not going in there to pay the bill. It's strictly for emergency fund only.
Right.
And when we start there, we're starting small. So we'll probably start with a $5 or let's say just a $10 or $50. But then once we see ourselves, oh, no, I can see that I'm moving a little. You can add another $5 to it. And so we move on. And before long, we're not living by paycheck again. We start managing our money better. We're able to pay bills and still have a little left. But we go have to start somewhere in order for this struggle with money to really go away.
Okay, that's true. Now let's talk about something people don't like to admit. A lot of people don't spend money because they need something. They spend money because they feel something. So let me ask you, what emotion makes you spend money the most? Is it stress? Is it sadness? Is it loneliness? Or even celebration? Which of these? And expound on it.
All right, for me, I know that most of the time when I go on the road, I just spend money. It's as if it's a therapy for me.
Yeah.
It gives me a whole different feeling. Just going in the store to probably get something that I probably don't need, but then it's a money decision based on my emotion. What way I'm feeling. I'm probably feeling stressed. I'm probably feeling sad. I probably feel lonely. So I get up and say, all right, let me just drive down to the mall. And next thing you know, I'm in the mall and I'm getting something. I didn't plan for it. Again, it comes back to impulse spending.
Right.
You're spending on impulse, not because you really want something or you didn't budget for this. This wasn't a part of your budget this month. But then something come up, you feel depressed or you're stressed or something happens. And just to make yourself feel better, you walk in the store and you start shopping without you even realizing you're spending more than what you budgeted for this month.
So true. Right? So true. Have you ever spent money just to feel better even when you know you shouldn't? Be honest with yourself. What are you trying to escape in that moment? And after you spend it, did the feeling last or did the regret come right after? Let's go deeper.
Of course, you spend money to make yourself feel better. I mean, but how long is it going to last? You go in the store, you probably like this perfume and you spend the money because at this point I'm not feeling self. So I'm not feeling self, and in order to feel self, you probably go get yourself a new gadget, or you probably go get a new perfume, or you might go get a new jewel or shoes, the latest brand shoes or handbag. And the feeling is there until you go home. It probably lasts a day, and then you wake up again the next morning and you're still back to that feeling.
Is retail therapy actually therapy, or is it just distraction?
Retail therapy can be considered as stress, you know. So it's not really a distraction. It's how you're feeling at the moment. It's the way you're feeling at the moment, and you're trying to get rid of that feeling. And sometimes everybody deal with that feeling different, and some person deal with it by going to spend the money.
Right. Because if money becomes your emotional outlet, then you're not solving the problem.
No, the problem is never solved, because what you're going to end up doing is spending until you have nothing left to spend.
Because your finance finished, right?
And and the feeling is still going to be there. So I mean, you would have to find another way to deal with this feeling that you're feeling.
Right. What's something you bought that you didn't actually need?
Shoes. I always buy shoes and I don't really need shoes. I either go buy a shoes or a handbag, and then I don't really need them because they come home. I probably have so many different shoes. Normally I go out and just buy a sneakers. I buy the sneakers on sale, and I mean, I'm just going to buy that sneakers because I'm a sneakers fanatic. I don't really need it, but I'm going to buy it. It gives you a good feeling. Oh, you like the sneakers, but when you go and reality check, you ask yourself, why did you buy these sneakers? Did you really need the sneakers? No.
Can struggle become comfortable?
It all depends on the person.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
Because what might be comfortable for me is not comfortable for you. And what might be uncomfortable for me might be comfortable to you. So it all depends on the person and their attitude and their personality.
Okay, that's true. Do you think some people are used to being broke? Does growth require discomfort most people avoid?
Yes, sometimes in order to grow, we have to become uncomfortable. And that's what some persons are not. They're not willing to do, and so they become comfortable in the situation that they're in. And that's when they become comfortable with the struggle. So instead of being uncomfortable for a couple of months, they rather stay uncomfortable or comfortable rather in the situation they're at, instead of just feeling uncomfortable for a couple of weeks or a couple of months.
Okay, that's true. So true. Do childhood experience shape how we handle money as adults? And I think we can go back on that.
I believe so. I believe that the more mature you become over time, the better money management you have. Because, I mean, experiences teaches knowledge. And after experiencing, you notice what I said when I was going to high school?
Right.
But then when you become, the older you get and the more, and if you're uncomfortable with this position you're in and the struggle you're in, is the more you're going to try to find out what are ways. You're going to do budgeting class, you're going to find ways and other means to help you to become a better financer or a better money manager, but manage money better.
Right. Were you taught fear, luck or survival? Luck or survival?
You have to learn it on your own. Sometimes you have to learn.
Right.
I mean, most of the time we learn survival on our own. In order to survive, we're going to have to do this. So we're going to have to learn how to survive. So we learn sometimes, or most of the time, experiences help us to learn survival on our own.
That's
it's not
true.
really taught. It's based on your situation and what you're going through at the moment.
Right. But do you think you spend to compensate what you didn't have? I would think so. And here's why. Some of the times, because even for me, I have a, what do you call it now? A 18-year-old son, right? And growing up, when I had him, I was spending, I bought stuff for him that I didn't have when I was growing up. So I tried to just, allow him to be comfortable and to have the things that I did not get when I was growing up and all of that. So I think that this really applies to me because you spend to compensate for what I didn't have when I was growing up.
And yet sometimes people do spend to compensate for what they didn't have, because I mean, especially if you're coming from a low income background and you get all the things that you saw your other friends getting, who have a higher status than you. When you get older and you start to work and you have that money, you're going to try to fill that gap. You're going to try to buy the things the things that you never had, or if you have a child and your status change, then you're
Right.
going to try to make up for the things that that child didn't get earlier. Or if you wasn't there for the child, let's say you're a mother who migrate, and you never get to spend all the time with the child. Once the child come back to live with you, you're going to give them all the things, spend that money to compensate for the lost time.
That is true. That is true. Why do people look rich but live broke?
Because they're trying to impress somebody. We buy all this, we're struggling, we ain't got all that money, but
Right.
we go the extra mile, we probably go take a loan somewhere, knowing that we don't have enough money already to cover that loan, but we want to have a look, what we call status. Some person said
Yes.
this is rich look, this is
Yes.
rich, but yet still underneath we are struggling, we ain't got that money, and we're going to put ourselves out of the way just
Right.
to have that look, and in the end it's going to cost us, because we never
That's
had
true.
money from day one.
That's true. That is so true. Are people buying image over stability? Is social media creating fake financial standard? Oh yes, I agree with that.
I think social media does promote it, because what you see on social media is not what actually is there. I mean,
That's true.
I can get a dress, I can get some makeup and some jewelry, and I can put myself together, and I can come on
Right.
social media, and persons are going to think, oh damn, she looks good, she have money. No.
And some of them, they are broke than the bottle.
But some persons don't have the money, but you come on there and you make it seem like you're all that. We
You're
can
all.
take pictures beside people's car. We can go sit in a car. We can go to the car mart and sit in the car and take some pictures, and it gives the impression that the car belongs to us.
That's true.
And then
And
other
what-
people sitting there and not knowing what is actually happening is going to want to live your lifestyle, not knowing that it's just a made up lifestyle.
Right.
It's not real, it's fake.
It's not real, right? At what point do excuse stop and accountability begins?
I mean, you start taking accountability when you realize that what life is really all about. I mean, it's not, you can't just go on just spending like that, because there's going to come a time that they call rainy day. So
Right.
you need to have to start making accountability. Yes, I made this mistake here, but now I'm going to have to fix this situation. I'm taking responsibility for me, or if you have children, for taking responsibility of my children. So I can't do all that just impulse spending, all that. I'm going to have to now sit down and go budget.
Right.
What are
Right.
my bills like for the month? How
That's
much
true.
money do I'm going to have left after I pay the bills, and of course put a little saving aside? What is left then?
That is true.
You can go ahead and do whatever you want to do afterwards. When the bills are taken care of, the kids are taken care of.
Right.
Of course, the emergency fund is, you add some things to the emergency fund.
Right. How long can someone blame their past? And what does real financial accountability looks like?
I mean, people blame the past for as long as they can. But once reality hits, it's a whole different ball
A
game.
whole different.
We're gonna blame our past. We're gonna blame our parents. Why didn't I grow up in a home that has all that money? Why didn't my parents do better? But at some point, if you go have to take responsibility for your own
Right. Right. That's true.
Because what your parents did and what you're about to do is two different things. And there is a saying in Jamaica that says, mother has and father has, but God bless the child who has his own.
Right. Yes.
So at some point we're going to have to start blaming the past or blaming somebody and take responsibility for our own financial management in order for us to get out of the struggle where we're struggling for money. Yes, I have a job and I'm getting paid, but I'm still struggling financially. I'm still struggling financially. So until you decide, all right, this is not what I want, I'm going to have to make a move, because people struggle with money for a whole different reason. Because it's never really one thing that we struggle with money for. It's a combination. But what is it that we're going to do? And until we decide that we are going to make a move, we're not going to want to be doing all of that no more, then we're going to have to learn basics. Start learning the basics without overloading yourself. That's the first thing you're going to have to do. Learning the basics of money management or financial management without overloading yourself. That's the first thing you're going to have to do.
That's true. So true. So let's shift the focus, because sometimes it's not just you. It's who and what is around you. Can your environment keep you broke? Think about the people around you. What kind of conversation do they have about money? Are they talking about growth, or are they just surviving? Have you ever felt pressured to spend money just to fit in? Maybe it was clothes, maybe it was an event, maybe it was a certain lifestyle. Ask yourself, were you trying to belong, or were you trying to impress? Let me ask you something that might be uncomfortable. If you are the most financially disciplined person in your circle, what does that say about your circle? Sometimes growth requires distance, and that's a part nobody wants to talk about. This next part is deeper than most people expect. Some people don't struggle with money because they can't get it. They struggle because they are afraid of with having it. So let me ask you directly, are you afraid of becoming financially successful? Not just saying you want it, but actually having it. Are you afraid of the responsibility that comes with it? Or are you afraid that people will expect more from you? Are you afraid you might lose certain relationships? Do you think success should isolate you from people in your life? And here's another one. Have you ever downplayed your goals just so you don't make others uncomfortable? Sometimes we shrink ourselves just to stay connected to people who are comfortable where they are. What's your thought on that? I know that's a lot, but let me go back. Are you afraid of responsibility that comes with it?
No, I mean, if I'm financially stable and I have a solid foundation financially, and it's going to cause me to shrink when I'm around a certain crowd, then it means I don't need to be in that crowd.
That's true.
It means you don't need to be in that crowd, and it's not that you're better than the person. Once you have a solid foundation financially, and if you go around certain people, it's going to make you shrink. It means that you don't need to be around them, because the circle you're in should be the circle that's you're helping each other to move from one level to another. So it shouldn't cause you to shrink. That's the first thing. And I mean, responsibility. I mean, sometimes in a family, there's only one. You grew up in a family and you are the one who went to university. You are the one who come out and you get this job. That is paying you a good sum. And everybody in the family expect you to take on that responsibility. It's not your responsibility. Family helps family. That's the first thing people likes to say. And yes, I'm going to help you, but it's not my responsibility.
And are you afraid that people will expect more from you? Are you afraid you might lose certain relationships? What are your thoughts?
I'm not, it's not being afraid, but you know persons and we know that in any family or around friends, once, let's say somebody win the lottery and it's quite a few $1 billion. Everybody's going to expect that you're going to be responsible for them. Everybody's going to want a car. Somebody's going to want a car. Somebody's going to want a house. Somebody's going to want a loan. So your responsibility right away is going to be changed. Not because you decide to, but because of who you're around. Everybody's Am I afraid? No, because I know when to draw the line.
That's true.
Am I afraid that I might lose a relationship? No, because if you really care about me and my status change, it doesn't mean I'm going to always have to be responsible for your wants and your needs.
That's true.
So if you want to step, then you're going to step. I'm going to help you the best way I can, but don't expect me to be always helping you, because it's a no-no. I'm going to have to plan, I'm going to budget, I'm going to ensure that my well-being is taken care of, and my emergency fund is right there. And I'm
That's
not going to be living, get back to where living from paycheck to paycheck, because that's what's happened to people most of the time. You move to a certain status, and your parents want you to pay all the bill. Your sister
Right.
doing this, that you are to take over the no.
Right, so true. And now let's be honest, because this is where many people will see themselves. Do you recognize patterns in life where you get money and then lose it? What's one financial mistake you keep repeating? Not just one, not twice, but consistently.
Poor man is a pattern. After a while, you're gonna see that pattern. You're gonna see the pattern carve out.
Right.
In order to change the pattern, you're gonna have to stop yourself.
Right.
The first thing you're going to stop, you're going to take check, and then you're going to decide, how am I going to change this pattern? Because if you don't try to change the pattern with your spending habits and all the other habits you do that has to do with money, then the pattern will not change.
That's true. Do you think some people subconsciously sabotage themselves because struggle feels familiar?
Do they successfully sabotage themselves? Because they are so comfortable in being in the struggle that they don't even realize that they can't get out of the struggle.
Right.
Sometimes people do sometimes.
Right, that is true. Let me ask you something real. If your life changed financially overnight, what habits would follow you into the new life? Because new money with old habits creates the same problem at a higher level.
All right, if I'm not careful, I'll be that impulse spender. Because you're going to be thinking more money, so I can go and get the shoes.
Right.
I can get this. I can go to the. I can change my car. I can. And before long, you might be back to where you're coming from. So yes, if I'm not careful, impulse spending will follow me into the next. In my new.
That's so true. So what is one habit you know is keeping you stuck?
Keeping me stuck. I guess just spending without budgeting or planning. That's an habit that have me stuck all the time.
Right, me too.
Sometimes you say, okay, I'm not going to do this. But then you get right back to that same habit again. You're stuck. You get stuck again in that impulse spending. And until you really pull yourself out and close that door, you're always going to be stuck in it if you're not careful.
Right. So in closing, tonight wasn't about blaming anyone. It was about awareness. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you understand your pattern, you have the power to change them. So I'll leave you with this question. If money disappears from your life today, would your habits bring it back? Take that seriously. This is Yoni Unfiltered, and this was the part nobody talks about. Stay aware, stay honest, and most importantly, stay intentional, and I'll see you in the next one. Before you go, I want to say thank you for being here. I appreciate everyone who is here, who took the time out of your busy schedule just to be here with me. I appreciate the communication and even the presence that's here. I really appreciate you all. Kathy, thank you. Keisha, I want to thank you. And Mr. Mullins, I want to say thank you for being here. And I appreciate everyone. Thank you.